Hello, and thank you for joining me here on Sew Stitch Hex. I'm Miss Izzy, and today is another regular book review. This book is Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis. I really like this one. This copy was gifted to me, so if I didn't like it, it was a hardback, which I love. And if I didn't like it, that I hadn't invested any money in it, although I invest money in a book without even a heart's blink. I won't even, I won't think. I'll just do books. Okay. So, right off the gate, this book is really cute. Even the dedication to my father, who deserved more time, and to my mother, who taught me how to grieve. And then the first quote: I love you as certain dark things are to be loved in secret between the shadow and the soul. Pablo Neruda. I really enjoyed this book. More than, I did write in it a little bit because there was a couple things that I was entertained by and interested in. I really liked how they point out, anytime someone wins a battle, this is a common occurrence. It's even in Court of Thorns and Roses. It's even in the other book that I'm blanking on. But they always bring up how the victors always write the textbooks. The victors always tell you how it happened, even if that's not quite how it happened. It's the opinions of the victors that really shape things. They kind of bring that up in here. And one thing I like about this is it is a necromancy book. And, she is to the public what would be negative, what would be dark. And that's because she's performing necromancy. Simple as that. It's necromancy. To perform necromancy, you have to... Oh, yeah, did I mention the spoilers? Because it's a review, so it should be obvious. Anyway, to perform necromancy, one has to create the correct kind of crucible. And to create your crucible, different metals are used. Different metals are used, and usually you can do a simple crucible with a rat. But certain crucibles are created with the use of sacrificing that which you love most. And so in here, she has to use, her sister. And she can't bring her back. But she'll be able to bring others back. And she loses, her hand gets all, messed up. But now she's able to be, it sounded like it was kind of corporeal, like she could touch stuff, but, incorporeal at the same time. It's a ghost hand. I don't know. She can reach into, the astral and, do stuff. That's what it sounds like. And it's, black. But, I really liked it for the sense of the very scientific aspect of necromancy. How it's going through an alchemy, in a sense. They're following alchemy, but then necromancy. And it's very taboo. It is not to be done. Not at all. But she does it anyway. Because there's this plague that's sweeping around, which I guess is kind of relevant right now. A plague. But, yes, so she's bringing back the dead, and they get to visit their families that have not, that are there, that are grieving. They get to see them, and it's their choice. She asks them. She doesn't tell them. She doesn't command them to come back. She asks them. Which is a big deal, comparing her to the actual villains who are in a place of authority, making them the good guys. Because they're the big man. Like V for Vendetta. He's the good guy, but he's seen as a terrorist. That's just how it is. She's a good guy. She's a student. She cares about her people. She cares about the class of people that she is in. She's a poor kid going to a rich kid's school, trying to learn something because that's what she wants. She has the passion. And it turns out she has the gift. She has that natural talent to do what she wants to do. And it came up with some really weird questions. When they transformed different things, I'm like, well, I've always wondered, would it be easier? Witches turn people into frogs. See, it's related, but not. But this is the idea. witches turn people into frogs. Well, instead of an amphibian, why don't we turn them into a rat? Because I like rats. And, you know, mammal versus amphibian. Maybe easier. But then you would have the idea of, does the excess mass get stored in like an astral realm, or does it get stored in the tail and it's like some monstrous snake thing that's terrifying, or is it a giant rat? Does it retain its memory? Will it just go off biting people, and now because it has a super strong like biting power, it's gonna be like crazy? Or is it gonna lose its mind because it's the power of a human mind instead of a rat mind? Yes, they're smart, but can they handle that much craziness? I can barely handle this much craziness. But these are just some basic questions that I had that came up randomly while I was reading. I kind of want to read. And her name's Nedra, which is kind of cool. Oh, there is some political kind of stuff in here talking about like the politics of where she's at. And I find it absolutely dreadful. I basically skimmed that part. It was lucky I skimmed it at all. It made me want to sleep. Especially because at the time I was in my old apartment that has burned down, chilling in my closet, which I had turned into like a little napping spot. I filled it with stuffies because it was a giant closet, and just sat on the floor in like a big floof with my altar in front of me and just read a book, you know, some bonding time with my altar. Now I have my altar currently in front of me and like a second room under my bed, so that's kind of cool. But it has short chapters, so structurally that's good. The cover is lovely on a physical aspect. It's just a blue, which is just a nice color to have. Gold text. There is no fancy picture or anything, or they could have totally done something cool. They missed an opportunity. Heck, they could have etched a crucible on there just so we know like visually what we're thinking about. But oh, they do that whole trope of where like the main boy is like the bad boy, and he's like, but you like still like him. It's not really that he's the bad boy. It said he's like friends with the bad boys, and you're like, but then he turns on his friends because it's like they're not really his friends. They're just bad guys, and they're just kind of friends because it's convenient. That whole Fairweather friends. That's it. Yeah. But you know, I guess you don't really know someone sometimes. I want to read something, but I don't know where to read. Oh, the fact that she is so selfless and just goes and like devotes herself to the plague, to the cause of the plague. Goes in there even though she's exposing herself, trying to ease the pain of all these people with the crucible, taking some of it into herself, even though it causes her to pass out from the pain. And the fact that she's constantly exposing herself to this plague, the fact that she could get it, the fact that she's taking away their pain, even though they're going to die. They're not going to live. But she just keeps doing it anyway, just because taking away their pain, that's enough for her. Making their lives, what's left of them, easier, that's enough. And I love that. I love that so much. That stood out to me a lot. That's what got me to keep reading and reading and reading. And then, well, I guess I'm done. as it is. Yes, I did find this to be great. You have the whole part about, we're like, okay. I touched the crucible, spoke the runes, which I want to hear people speak the runes. I want to hear it. I want to know how. Like, are they doing it in their, like, dialect? Are they using their, how are they doing it? I want to know. These are things, I need this. This is a TV show right here. Boom. Here you go, 20th Century Fox. Don't fuck it up. We can do it. Let's go. Although it won't be able to be this fall because, you know, they can't record any of the shows right now with the plague. So I guess fall TV is canceled. Hopefully they got something. People are going to lose their minds more than they already are. White light encased Ernesta's body, and in a moment she was healed and whole again. She stood up, she looked at me, she waited for her next command. And then Gray is, "Kill the necromancer, kill the necromancy." The words moved my feet forward, filling me with determination. It didn't matter that the necromancer was the most powerful person in the world. He had to be stopped. Super, very, crazy. It's with revenants, which the revenants is a thing that I've seen reoccurring, and is actually something I'm doing in my witchcraft studies right now, is I'm really studying the idea of revenants, and reanimated bodies and animated inanimate bodies. So like golems or golem or golem. How do you pronounce? Golems. That's what I'm going with. Revenants and other kinds of zombies, whether it be undead, not really alive to begin with, or just a type of thing you're controlling. The word I'm looking for escapes me, but it's in the Librairie. Basically a golem, kind of. You make it out of natural objects, and you usually make two. One is for going out and gathering knowledge, and the other one is to protect you, pew pew pew, when it takes the hit. But yeah, so I really like this idea of the revenant. You're bringing them back. They're under your control, but you totally ask their permission. Kind of how in Lost Girl they can bring back the dead, but they're not really alive. And they are not asking the dead. If they are your dead, you can control them, or if you've drank their blood, you can control them in Lost Girl, which is one of my favorite TV shows. But it's that idea of the undead and the control of them, but giving them that power. Just like when you do real necromancy, something I've been looking into a lot. You ask the spirit. You don't have to tell the spirit, but some people are very open to just telling the spirit. They're like, well, you don't want to come back, I will drag you back screaming. Can't we just ask? And if they say no, just say, fuck it, I'll find someone else. So it's that idea, consent of spirit wielding, I guess, spirit usage. All right, thank you for joining me here on this little normal witchy view. I know there was a lot of rambling in there. I hope you are interested in this book if you haven't read it, and if you have read it, what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. All right, thank you for joining me. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.